Hey, this Saturday, it's a big day at Sox Park, White Sox Dave. A lot of alumni are coming back.
A lot of alumni. I think we're going to see AJ in town. Probably
Yes.
Jermaine Dye.
Konerko.
Konerko is going to be in town. You don't hear from Paulie Konerko too often these days.
No, the list is star-studded, so I'm excited to go because we will be there with Miller Lite. We are going to Mitchell's Tap. It's at 3356 South Halsted before the game, so pregame will be there at noon. Come by, drink some Miller Lights, and then go see the Legends right after.
Legends right after it. I can't wait. I wish Bobby Jenks were there.
What are you laughing at?
Have to
Just
him.
sometimes when we're doing these ad reads, Dave just repeats the last thing you said. So the Legends will be there. Yep, the Legends will be there. It just makes me laugh a little bit.
Okay.
Regardless, though, come drink some Miller Lite with us before. You're going to want a pregame. It's going to be an awesome Saturday on the South Side. One more time, we'll be drinking Miller Lite at Mitchell's Tap, 3356 South Halsted from 12 to 3 before the game. Miller Lite, listen, it's the official beer of the Chicago Bears. It's also the official stadium beer of Rate Field. So
We'll have going.
Miller's in the stadium. So go to MillerLite.com/stretch to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere that they sell beer. Cheers to 50 years of Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. Hope to see you all at Mitchell's on Saturday. All right, welcome to the stretch. A lot to catch up on. It's been a couple weeks, and we have a big weekend. We're going to be at Mitchell's Tap for the Sox game from 12 to 3 on Saturday. We have Papa Hops' Friday. Any particular spot that you guys would like to start at?
What ball are you holding?
Billy Williams, Hall of Fame.
It's a little
19.
gift. Little gift from Nicky Smokes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sometimes Dickie Smokes, somehow he's friends with Billy Williams' grandkids.
Huh.
Yeah.
They grew up in the town over from me, so I grew up playing against them all my whole life, like Little League through high school. And when I heard Nicky Smokes was friends with them, it like blew my mind.
I think he just
That's crazy.
met him at a bar, like when he first moved here.
Random.
There you go. What do you want to start with, Dave?
Me?
Sideline for Papa Hops?
I would like to start with a very heartfelt goodbye to Bobby Jenks, actually.
Oh, that's all right. That's good. That's good. I didn't.
And then we will get to the fun stuff. But it hurt. It really hurt. Celebrity deaths don't get me. This one did.
Yeah.
This one did.
Well,
he means so much to Sox fans.
Yeah, and he's 43.
Exactly.
Yeah.
44, I think
44.
it said. Young kids, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably like 10, 12 now, but still, it's just super sad. Everybody that's ever had an interaction with him loves the guy. Just sucks. Cancer is the worst. The absolute worst.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, legend.
Total legend. Obviously, like
Big guy closer. Like is always. There's something about that where it's,
exactly.
You know,
Throws
Ozzie,
102.
and he was doing that. He was throwing 102 back when like he was the only one doing it. Everybody has a player or two that throws 102 now, you know.
Yeah.
But back then when he came in, you're like, holy shit, he's got the best fastball in like baseball history. Like,
he's one of those guys growing up that, as a Cubs fan, you were jealous of the Sox.
right? Yeah.
Fuck, like he's so cool, and Joe Borowski's just kind of Joe Borowski, you know. But it was definitely a mismatch when it came to fandom being in Chicago South.
It really sucks. That it was on the 4th of July he passed, and everybody got the news on the 5th. But man, that really ruined the weekend. He means so much to, like you said, the city of Chicago. Like there's the players, like Sammy's one of them for the Cubs that like.
And just
obviously we wanted them to lose, but like they're good for the city. They're good for the game of baseball. Bobby Jenks is one of those guys.
And it's always like the big boys like kind of stand up. He's kind of like the Schwarber.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like there's a
yeah.
personality to it, the position,
right.
the size, like you said, Dave, like one of the first guys to throw that hard. Even the name kind of just has a little bit of it. It just all of it.
Absolute worst.
You said that in like a Hawk voice, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like I would want to know what like Hawk thinks about this right now. I haven't heard him say anything or quote or anything, but like everybody's pouring out of the woodwork to talk. I talked to my old Bat Boy buddy about it over the weekend. Shared some stories about him, but everybody loves Bobby Jenks.
Hawk's going to be there this weekend.
He is going to be there this weekend.
Maybe we'll get some thoughts. I hope they have a great tribute.
Every time I talk to my friend Scott Merkin, who you guys, I don't know if know him, but you know of him at least, have met him here or there. He always tells me that. Wait, who'd you bring up? I got thrown off by Chief right there.
What do you mean?
What?
I got thrown out. No,
I'm sitting here quietly.
I know you said something that threw me off. What were you
He
talking
didn't
about?
say anything.
I was quiet.
He did not say a word.
Yeah, it didn't throw you off. Your brain just.
I said Hawk's going to be there.
You just started talking and then you stopped.
You didn't
talking.
know where you were going.
He had like a murmur or something. Anyways,
No,
Hawk.
he did. I think he said. I think you said. You said Scott Merkin. You guys know him, and I think both Chief and I were like,
Oh
yeah.
Scott.
yeah,
Scott
but
Merkin.
That was
Okay.
you asking us. Like
Yeah.
we were just.
I
And then
answered
all right,
your
I threw
question.
myself off.
we were
But
doing a podcast.
He always makes it a point to say, "How are the Barstool guys doing?" That interviewed me a few years back. Like those guys were awesome. I
Hawk.
love them.
Yeah.
Hawk.
Yeah.
Hawk asked that.
Got it.
So I hope we do get to run into Hawk this weekend. That'd be.
That
great.
was the story.
That was the story.
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's an emotional.
Hey, my
moment.
bad for
I
throwing
like.
you off.
Yeah.
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 I mean,
Brain is not.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I heard him like clear his throat or something. Then.
I don't think so.
there was a noise that came from that direction. There was
don't
a noise
think
that
so
came
either.
from that direction.
Yeah.
But that's what I got from the weekend.
Okay.
Okay.
There are more White Sox themes we can discuss, but we can move forward if you'd like.
We can move forward.
Talk
Yes.
about our own team.
R.I.P. Bobby Jenks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get into the weekend because, like we said, we're going to be at the Sox game Saturday, and Friday we're going to be at Papa Hops.
Yeah. Well, Dave, did you not want to talk about you said you were going to talk about the basketball league as well. You wanted to
Yeah, we were going to get to that later.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
you're a complete and total wimp.
No, I'm not. I'm actually the opposite.
You're a wimp.
I'm actually the opposite.
You
because
cried to the refs.
because you don't know how to play
Constantly.
basketball.
You don't have to quiet the crowd. You just being there quiets the crowd. Montoya needs. Oh, turnover.
Oh,
from
no.
Montoya.
Bad pass from Montoya. Give it go right
Oh,
back to
he's
Smoke.
shooting
Stop
it.
the
He's pulling
team.
it. He is pulling that.
In and out.
They are bullying White Sox Dave down low, by the way.
Guarding me on offense.
Oh,
They
White
are-
Sox
guarding me
Dave.
on offense. I've never seen it before.
You don't know how to play basketball.
That's just not true.
You don't
I'm
know
not
how to
good
play
at it,
basketball.
but I do know how to play it.
I know how to play too.
No.
I know
There's
at
a
least
difference.
I
There's a
know and
difference.
I know enough to know
No.
that I should play as hard as the refs will allow me to.
Fine.
That's fine.
Fine. That's fine. Dave, calling me a wimp. I'm the only guy who's 40 years old out still fucking competing. You don't see Dave Portnoy or KFC doing it. I'm the only OG left going and doing the combine.
I'm not calling a win
doing
for
the
you
fucking
for-
basketball,
yeah.
doing Barstool Camp.
Yeah, blame
I am
Portnoy.
always right.
Blame Portnoy and
No,
blame
no,
KFC.
no, I'm not blaming-
You cried to the
You're
refs
such an idiot.
that whole game.
You're such an idiot.
That whole game you
You're
cried to the
such
refs.
an idiot.
Dave,
you don't understand what I'm saying. I should retire, but I'm doing it for the people. I'm still competing. I am this close to getting injured every time I go out there. I don't need to get injured doing these videos, but I'm out here competing, putting it all online. You need to
So
do
hold
these
on,
videos
hold on, hold on,
for the
hold
rest
on,
of your
hold on.
life because that's what you
Hold
plot.
on. So you're not a wimp, but you're afraid of getting hurt.
I don't want to get, Dave, I don't have to do these videos
I
anymore.
understand that.
I don't want to get hurt, like tearing my Achilles, hurting my knee right before summer with 3 little kids, but I'm out there doing the videos, and when I'm playing against a guy who
Yes.
doesn't know how to play basketball, I'm not having a good time. Again, I'm not saying I'm good at basketball.
I'm not saying
I
I'm
know
good at
how to play basketball. You don't.
I was playing very good defense is what I was doing. In fact,
yeah, the refs were just asleep. You're right.
complain
That's
about
fine.
the refs, yeah.
The
That's fine.
refs, especially the second refs, were.
They didn't want
You
to call anything.
took
Atrocious.
advantage of that, did you not?
But also,
You were
like,
trying to barrel
there's-
me.
But there's also I know there was money involved, but there was just times you're just pushing me for no reason. I was like,
That
why
is-
am I doing this?
I was just pushing you for no
Yeah.
reason. What do you mean pushing you?
Like full
Bodying.
arm extension. Like I would try to get in the lane and you would just be holding me. I'd be like, all right, I'm not gonna.
That
I
not
would
gonna get
have my
hurt.
arm up. I wasn't ever shoving you. That is just that's a lie. That's just not.
Okay.
We have everything on tape. In fact, I thought about this just.
I
before
still
we started
put
the show.
7 points on your head.
You didn't. But you okay? First of all, you upped that from 5 the other day.
Whatever it was, I don't know.
And
I hit
second
2
of all,
threes, I think.
you hit 1 3 on me,
And it okay.
and that was it.
Well, where were you were guarding me? Where was the other one? You got
There was
lost?
a kick out to you and Nikki.
Where
Smokes.
were you? Bet you didn't rotate?
I don't know, but it
Sounds like
doesn't
you know how
matter.
to play
It doesn't
basketball.
matter. We won the game. You cried to the refs because I was being too physical for you.
I want him to call something. That's called working the refs.
Did that?
And also after the game, I said, "Good game. You're
Oh,
a dog."
come on.
I absolutely right
So
up
what
here.
is- what is it?
Right up here. I said that. I went up to you. I was like, "Dude, good game. You got the best of me." I wasn't gonna get injured.
I got.
How'd you get distracted again?
Marty Mush is calling me. Who
How's that possible? We're in the middle of a conversation.
Because
My point, my final point is, You won fair and square. I didn't complain after. When I do these events, I'm happy to do them, but I'm not at the point where I want to get injured. So yes, I will go 60, 70%. I'm going to try hard, but I'm also not going to get, like, if I get injured playing in this basketball league, I will be so, not only will my wife kill me, but I will fucking kill myself.
I understand.
Like, I've had
a
back injuries.
You had a moment where you almost got me.
What do you mean?
Yeah, like
you
if
undercut.
you were the reason I got hurt, I'd have to kill you too. It would be murder suicide.
No, but
you want that? I don't want that.
When I beat you and got in the lane, and then you were stumbling and went into my legs as I was going up, like that could have been bad.
Yeah, you got me on that one, and I said that. You are the only one that, like, I had any respect for after that tournament.
Thank you.
Because he was the one, like, and you even said it. What did you say about your teammates?
Oh, my teammates are so soft.
They're the softest thing
Like,
ever.
Big T can't get a rebound ripped away by Sidney Wells. Like,
No,
that's soft. And then
that's-
Tate was like, Smokes is too physical. And it's like, well.
Tate didn't score 1 point on me, and I guarded Tate.
Yeah, I don't even think our game was like that controversial. I just
No.
told the refs to try to call something.
The only
like, it wasn't like a
controversial-
crazy. I wasn't like their team was like. We got Dana hurt and they wouldn't let us have an extra person. I was like, I'm not even gonna fight this. I don't
So
care.
if a player gets hurt on the White Sox,
I understand, but
are you just
we're
gonna
not playing
pluck
Major
someone-
League Baseball, dude.
It's the BBA.
That's
The
it's the
BBA.
BBA. It's more important than
It's
that.
the BBA. I
More
mean,
important. And also,
Titus
someone
could make any rules.
someone fucked up by not calling it the BBL.
Yeah.
Probably.
Either way,
That's
good
neither
job
here nor
playing defense, but I think I'm very confident. I don't want to retire because I do like doing it, but I also realize, like, at this point, if I get hurt doing one of these things, I'm going to be so upset.
Yeah, as you should.
You got to just buy Dave off beforehand.
I didn't.
I should have.
Listen, I don't know what we're arguing. I think I understand both of you guys.
Yeah.
Like I know for a fact you like to play basketball in like a basketball way.
Yeah.
You like the screens.
Right.
You like the flow of closeouts. You like to play basketball how it's intended to be played.
Correct.
Dave does not, which is fine. He brings his best attribute, which is fucking
Dog.
hustle.
Yeah.
Like,
He was
he
a
is
dog.
going to hustle, and he is
But it's
going to
weird.
be a net.
It's like,
But, like,
would
Dave
you
would-
step in the box against someone who doesn't know how to pitch, who can throw like 90 miles an hour but has no control.
Yeah, I did it. I've done it. I've done
But,
it
like,
many
you-
But
times.
there's a way, like,
You want to play slam ball.
That's
Correct.
Which
is
wanted,
fine.
I wanted to play so the guy in front of me didn't touch the ball.
right.
That was my only.
And the refs
goal.
Even
weren't
when
calling
you're-
anything.
even
I
when
was
your
asking
team had
the
the
refs
ball.
to call something.
Yeah. And
I was
then
asking them to call something.
And
we
then-
tried to we were intentionally fouling you.
which was the lamest thing ever, by the way.
Yeah, it's
But
a strategy.
whatever.
It was a
Listen,
strategy. And they wouldn't
like,
call that.
when
And I'm
you-
like, I'm trying to, like, I'm fouling him. I was yelling at the ref. I'm fouling him.
My mistake was that having the like refs there, I thought they would actually participate. They didn't. Like when you play,
I'll
people
concede
know. Like if you play pickup basketball, there's like there's always like the one guy who like elbows too much.
The football
or, like
guy.
and you're just like, dude, come on.
I
We're
don't
not
do
trying to
that
get
in
hurt out
normal
here.
pickup.
Yeah, no, I know,
basketball.
but so me thinking the refs were there to actually
Yeah.
keep it like that, where it's like in a pickup basketball game, it polices itself, where it's like, it's not that you don't get physical, it's not that you don't box out or hard screens, it's more like the little stuff that
Sure.
guys will police each other and be like, dude, don't fucking do that. The refs just didn't do it.
No.
Yeah, they didn't.
And Dave got his assignment,
And he did a good
followed
job.
his assignment. They're like, why are you playing defense on offense? He was never intended to play offense
I-
at all. He
And,
exerted all his
and listen, I wish I had known that. I mean,
All-time
Dana,
defense.
Dana
in
getting
pickup
hurt.
basketball.
Dana getting hurt really threw a fucking wrinkle into everything.
Yeah, for sure.
I
that
still
was
think
bad.
we would have had you guys.
I don't know because Dana would have just got. We would have just gone to the post with Dana against Nicky Smokes, and Nicky
Yeah.
Smokes is very good at basketball, but that is a size mismatch.
Yeah, love Dana, but he also disappointed game 1 too.
Yeah,
That's
he
the
did.
only thing that maybe not, but I get
Yeah, but so did Sydney, and then Sydney went.
for sure.
That was actually
yes.
the key to the tournament.
Of course.
Sydney being
We should.
Not
I mean,
good,
if we
I
do it
don't-
again, which I hope we do, and I will absolutely participate because I don't want to make it like I
Gotta
want to
get Dave
keep
on your
playing.
team.
And like we're going to Barstool Camp in a month, and we're going to do all those games. I'm going to compete. Hopefully, I don't get injured.
I almost drowned to
knock
death
on
at
wood.
that last year.
I almost died swimming.
That I almost, yeah, it was,
my body was too fast for like my heart. It was. I went too fast. I was too good of a swimmer for my own like cardio level.
when you guys made me go against Stephen Shea, like 1-on-1 on the trampoline wrestling match. I was so gassed and winded that when I jumped over, I thought I was going to just.
It is. I actually think like it's very funny because people obviously watch, they enjoy these videos, and they're like, "You guys all suck." It's like, no shit, dude.
No shit.
We're all just regular dudes who are out of shape, and we're doing things we shouldn't be doing.
I'm not out of shape.
Okay, well, I am. I am out of shape, but it's always so funny.
And I am good at
people are
basketball.
Like, there's been a revelation that we suck at this stuff for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
Back to the first combine when they're like, "You guys suck." It's like, yeah.
How many people that are
No
saying
shit.
you guys suck at basketball and are drawing up plays like they're Tom Thibodeau?
But that's
are
just part of the internet. I actually
know.
enjoy it because it's like it makes us relatable. It's like if we did a basketball tournament, we all were fucking awesome. It would be the weirdest thing
Why
ever.
would that? That's not.
Yeah,
watch
right.
the NBA at that point.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm happy we cleared the air on that. I have something I would like to clear the air on.
Let's clear it.
Papa Hops.
Mm-hmm.
Were you going to ask me to donate again?
Yeah, I told you that last week.
Okay.
I was going to today, and I was talking to them yesterday, and they said you took care of it.
I did take care of it. I think this is like the 4th or 5th year. I had an interesting conversation though with the guy who runs it. By the way, this is a charity we're talking about. Do a great job.
They're the best.
Cancer, for childhood cancer. They do a big 16-inch softball tournament every year. I talked to him and I was like, "Yeah, I'm in to donate." And I was like, "Can you just send me the website so I can just do it on there with my credit card?" And I did, and so he sent it to me, and I noticed that the top donation amount was $3,250, $3,000, $250.
Yes,
$3,250
championship, level or whatever.
But the last 4 years, I've been giving $5K. Where's the other money going?
What?
I didn't ask you for any specific amount.
But I've been giving $5K. Have I been paying for your team every year? Because he then said, he was like, "Are you going to pay for Dave's team as well?" And I was like, "Have I been paying for Dave's team?" And he said, "Yes." So have I been paying for your team
I
every
guess
year?
so.
Why? You can pay for your own team. It's a charity.
Yeah, I know.
Why have I been paying for your team?
We haven't had we have the donation and we have the spot because of the donation.
Well, how much?
That's me paying for your team.
From the donation, yeah.
No, because I've been donating, which again, I'm fine donating, but I've been donating significantly more than the high level to pay for your team.
How much is the team spot?
$1,000. So we're still kind of
it
short,
went up.
like
Paying for
500
almost
bucks.
2 teams.
We're
Yeah.
I mean, it's
short 750 bucks.
It's not like I am pocketing any of this.
I don't know where it's going. I was
You
shocked
do
to
know
see the
where it's
champion-
going.
No, I know where the 3250 is going.
Yeah, I would assume that.
Where's
rest
the
of
other
it
money going?
Just goes to
Dave's team.
that. No, the charity itself.
Okay.
Surround sound system.
I was shocked when he asked. He's like, "Are you paying for Dave's team?" I was just like, "Do I pay for Dave's team?" He's like, "You have been."
For years.
This is news to me.
Listen,
as well.
the donation was made, but I'm not paying for your team this year.
Okay,
You could pay for your team.
that's fine.
Because that's, I mean, I feel like how many guys are on the team? 15?
12.
12?
Yeah,
You guys can all throw in $100 for
Yes.
charity.
yeah.
So you're going to pay for your own team.
I donate every year as well.
Okay.
Not
Yeah, for
$5,000. Obviously, I've given $250 every year.
maybe that's part of my donation too.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you got to donate so much.
No, I'm not. It's a great charity. I've donated
I
every
just want
year.
it above board.
And I also don't even like I remember like 2 years ago when you're like, "Oh, are you going to just send the money from the
You always-
Cats Family Foundation?" I was like, "Yeah, Dave, that's my money."
I understand that's your money, but I was asking like
like
for
it's like
tax
something
information. I'm
that's
like,
just
am I like taking your tax information, or are you just cutting a check from Dan Katz?
I'm just
what I
cutting
was-
a check for me.
I know, but okay. Yes, you are.
5013C. You're looking
It's-
for, yeah.
Yes, a
You
charity.
know, I hate that I'm doing this so much today because I'm going to step in and defend Dave again. Which remember this because remember this because there is an aspect where he's right. We wouldn't have a spot in the tournament because there's so many teams that want to get
Everybody
in
wants
if
to
it
get
weren't for this. And
So I'm paying for his team. That's fine.
I was under the impression always that the championship sponsor covered the team.
That's what I thought.
Kind of, but I don't
No.
know if you thought that or not, but that's what I thought.
No.
But seeing
I don't think it does.
Okay, then I'll pay $100. I'll get $100.
What if they win the tournament? Can he?
We get the money?
I want to play in the tournament. It's just
You guys are
the
in
weekends.
I know.
been
I have to
bad.
talk to the Hopkins brothers and Dave Ameren about changing.
And I want to stress again, it's a great charity, great event. I've been donating for the last 5 years or however when
longer,
you first
like
asked.
6,
Yes,
7
might have been
years, yeah.
more.
It's like $25,000, Dan.
Yeah, a lot of money.
Yeah, I need to show up. I don't even get it. I need to show
have
up.
a roster
Like, hey,
spot.
I'm the
Yeah.
one.
In all serious jokes
Do
aside,
they treat you like a king because they're like Barstool donated $5,000?
They treat Barstool like a king. There's Barstool
I need to get some of the king
signage
treatment.
Yeah,
everywhere. But like jokes aside, it is the absolute like someone's
Dave
just-
accepts the thank yous on your
How?
behalf.
Yeah. Steal my take. How deep have you guys made it in the
I
tournament?
make it very, very clear to the Hopkins brothers
How deep
that
have
this
you
is all because you guys. Second round.
Second round and you're always out.
Yeah.
We've lost the second round.
It's a very hard tournament.
It's
Yeah, I
if
mean,
you
there's
win
supposed
it,
to
it's
be
very hard.
Yeah.
So how many rounds are there?
It's a 30. Is it 32 teams?
So 4
Single
or 5.
elimination.
All right, so if you get to the third round this year, I'll pay for your team next year.
Deal.
Oh, I like.
I like
like
we
that.
have a good team.
Yeah. All
I
right.
like our squad. We play my buddies first round.
If you
too.
win the whole
Are we
thing,
playing
if
Riegers?
you win the whole thing, I'm
Yeah.
going 5-year pay for period.
Oh, that's nice.
Five
love
period.
that.
That's nice
Love
of
it.
you. Yeah. So I'm excited to see you play.
Another $25,000. You're
Yeah.
you're in for
25
$50,000.
grand. You'll
Yeah.
have a little
That's
roster.
a unit on a fucking Bears over.
Yeah, I don't like that though. When people do that,
No, I know. That's
do
a
that
dick
to me a
comment.
lot
It's
these days,
a dick comment.
where they're like, "Oh, you could just give." I'm like, dude, I understand. I can. I give a lot of money to a lot
You
of people,
do.
but eventually, you do run out if you just give it to everyone, every day.
Yeah, I'm joking. I'm joking. Dan is exceptionally.
No, it's a great. I'm
Philanthropic.
happy
Is that the word?
that we are involved in it. It was very funny. Eddie was on the email.
Yeah.
It was very funny just when he was just like, "Are you paying for Dave's team?" I was like, have I then?
Yeah.
I don't know. But I'll work that all out.
So
The
just
team's gonna
win
be
the whole
awesome.
thing, and then
we're
you
gonna
get-
win the whole thing.
And then you get 5 years.
We need Nick Addison to play better team baseball.
Nick Addison's.
He said that was
See,
your
Nick
fault,
Addison told me that he gets paid $500 to play.
Yeah, he
That's what he just told me.
Yeah.
That's-
we
yeah.
pay our players. That's actually where the money's going. We're
Yeah.
paying for ringers.
So
We
you
do got
sure
some
you want to
ringers
pay for his
this year,
team?
We got some ringers.
We got this guy they called him Mountain. He's 6'5", 300 pounds, and he's like, he just like.
You got to
hits
get
it to the
Kipnis
moon.
out there.
Yeah,
I tried to get Kipnis out there.
What did he say?
He bailed 2 years ago. It was the year he retired.
All right. Well,
he's.
he's back. He's doing marquee all the
Yeah.
time. So let's get him out there.
Dave
I
swung
would
him
love
off
to.
after that.
Eddie says that it wouldn't matter that he
That might be
pro ball.
the 1 year I play. We'll just try to do like the
The big
Simpsons. Yeah.
Because it is really
Yeah.
funny. Like every time, like my friends will ask me, "Who you guys got this year?" Jim, tell me. Like they think
Yeah.
there's always rumors that we're getting.
We need
these
to do that
ex-pro
1
ballers.
year
Yeah.
without telling anyone. Just show up and have it.
We
just
had-
be like 10 pros.
Yeah.
I'll just be the
Yeah.
bench
Get Rizzo back here. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Do you think those guys would dominate it?
It depends on if they tried hard. Because like, there's also the element of like, do they want to? They don't want to. They're in a no-win situation.
Yeah.
Where if they lose, everyone will be like, we beat a bunch of guys who played in. But if they tried hard, I think they would.
Yeah.
I mean, they would. I
I-
would
I
have
could
to
s-
imagine like Jason Kipnis and Anthony Rizzo would hit the ball.
Five-
Are there fences?
No.
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 But I would have to imagine they would get a hit every time, right?
Yeah.
Because everyone would back up and they would just hit it right in front of them.
I think they try to hit it as far as they could, and they'd still hit it over the outfield
Yeah.
heads.
Although 16 inches is different.
Yeah, it's a different game.
not.
It's very different.
game.
You have to like place it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot more.
Very different. Yeah. Should be fun.
All right, we got everything out.
Fun weekend. We got everything out.
Most,
Yeah.
think,
We hadn't seen each other in 2 weeks.
We might have some more that bubbles up throughout the rest of the show.
Oh, what?
I don't know.
We got bubbling.
Okay.
Might
Well,
bubble
maybe,
up.
Are
maybe
you-
Eddie and Chief, you guys go. Dave and I have just been the main attraction. So
Okay.
Oh, what the fuck? What do you got?
Get it out,
Not
Dave.
serious at all. Are you calmed down? So I got a little nervous about the Cubs for a second there.
Oh, I did too.
Yeah. It depends on what you. I'm nervous, like short term and long term, because I don't think they're signing Tucker. So then it's like all or nothing for this year, and I don't believe in the starting pitching in a playoff series against the top teams. So,
And Cam Smith looks awesome.
and then he looks awesome.
And it's like that's everyone who talks shit about Cam Smith. I'm like, if they re-sign Kyle Tucker, I do not care.
Right.
But if they don't, I
It
will
was-
care a lot.
Yeah.
And it will bother me a lot. But I got nervous. It was the losing 2 out of 3 to the Mariners and then losing the first 2 to the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's when you tweeted.
That was a little bit of, and it also was like, I think the Brewers and the Cardinals started very slow, and then they started picking it up, and I was like, what's going on here? Because the Brewers are still going to be heard from.
Yeah,
For sure.
They're a very good.
the
They're a good
division's
team.
very good. There's
Yeah.
4 teams over 500 in the division.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I am worried that it's going to be like, all right, like they're going to be in the playoffs, wild card.
Okay, I thought
Yeah.
you were concerned. Like,
No,
they're
I
not gonna
think
win the
no, I
division.
think they're going to.
Oh, I was a little of that.
Were you?
I'm still the Brewers are only 4 games back.
But it wasn't that stretch, that 2-week stretch that wasn't great, but not awful, because every team goes through that.
Yeah,
The Yankees
of
went
course.
through it.
But it's just like
course.
it's like how high is up for this team. Like
That's valid.
and it's just like, all right, then I guess if you don't win it and you don't sign Tucker, you're kind of in a rebuild because Swanson's going to be 32, Happ's going to be 32, Seiya's 30 something. Like all your core guys that are having great years. Seiya's like
He's awesome.
he's unbelievable.
Sucks he didn't make the All-Star team.
It's crazy because he
Yeah.
leads the league
Although
in RBI.
it's Schwarber took his spot, so I can't be that
Yeah.
mad.
I know.
But he is, he leads RBI. He's 4th in home runs in the NL and 12th in OPS.
Yeah.
Slugging's crazy. Like, he met the criteria.
He's
for
awesome.
Jay
Sure,
Thomas
yeah.
would say. But it's just the DH spot was
Yeah.
loaded. It was Shohei and
Yeah.
But I still think that we're gonna need some pitching. Like,
Yeah.
we're
yeah,
not-
Tyon going down sucks.
That sucks.
although he was bad his last couple starts.
was.
He was.
hurt.
Been,
yeah.
Like he
Yeah.
was it was clear that
'Cause
something was wrong.
he was lights out for like a month.
yeah.
And then something then I bet on him. And that was the game where he got absolutely shelled. And then he had I think one more start and then they shut him down.
But we're all under the impression that they're going to make a move at the deadline, right?
They have to.
They have to.
I don't think it's
There's
a question.
no.
If they don't, I've said this before. If they don't make a move at the deadline and re-sign Kyle Tucker, they're basically saying to the entire fan base, we don't care about actually winning.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They're
No better time than both of those things to happen.
they're in the same bucket as Reinsdorf if that happens.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
It should be. You should fucking burn that stadium to the ground if they don't re-sign him or add at the deadline or add at the deadline. They're going to though.
But we've got incredibly fortunate.
I think
Horton
we're gonna
looked
win the
great
division
last
by
week.
games.
Yep.
Obviously, Boyd made the All-Star team.
Yep.
Guardians, yeah.
We've been very fortunate with how the rotation has responded outside.
Yeah,
of
because
Steele
your
and-
top 2 guys been
Yeah.
out for the majority of the year. So and Steele's done obviously until next year.
If
so.
we did this show last Monday, I would have been a lot more concerned because we
Yeah.
lost the series to the Mariners. We split a 4-game series with the Cardinals and lost the series to the Astros.
having an 8 home run 4th of July.
But that's what
awesome.
I did. I did ESPN Monday. I said I'm assuming we'll take care of business against the Guardians, which we did. And then I said if we win the series against the Cardinals, we're all fine, and we
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is a huge week last week, and they responded as best as you can. They had a home run derby against the Cardinals on Friday, which
That was
awesome.
so awesome. That was so fucking awesome.
yeah.
Did you see there was a crazy stat. There's this crazy baseball stat. I think it was the 3rd time a Cubs player has gone 3 home runs against the Cardinals, and the other 2 times were also on 4th of July.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then it was like a dude in like 1938.
Yeah.
Really?
Pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
That is crazy.
Very weird
wild.
baseball stat. Michael Bush, I mean, he's got to play every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been awesome.
Did you guys see Bruce Levine asking Craig Counsell about the record against 500 or better teams in the postgame the other day?
No. Is it what is it right now? Because I know it's
like
not great.
500,
Yeah.
but it's like exactly typical. They're beating the shit out of bad teams for the most
Right.
part, and they're like 500. That's like I bet the Dodgers are pretty similar.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know that off the top of my head, but I bet they're. But he asked that, and Counsell just like shook his head. He's like, dude, we try to win like every game we play. I don't know how to answer.
Yeah.
He just like, and it was such a funny clip because old man
Yeah.
Levine's reaction. Oh,
I also think, Eddie, the concern, if you don't want to have the concern about the Central, which that's fine. I do think it's going to be a race because I think the Brewers, again, are good. There's also, like, you would like to get one of the top 2 seeds and not have to
Yeah.
play that wild card round.
Yes.
And the Dodgers are probably going to be the 1 seed. And then the Phillies the Phillies are right there with us. I think we're 1 game better than them. So that's going to be a real race.
Yeah, and I do think we have potential to hit a downslope. I just didn't think we hit it yet with that.
Yeah.
With that stretch. Like I was like, this isn't great. It's been the worst we've seen so far this year, but it wasn't a panic, pull the fire alarm kind of stretch.
No, but I am like all or nothing with this team.
Yeah.
Because it's just like I have no faith in the Ricketts to keep this going beyond this year. So
Yeah.
it's like, it feels like when they go on a little skid, it's like, oh fuck, like this is going to be our last good team for 5 years. Like that's kind of like how my dark moments go with the Cup. So,
and I like how the schedule's shaping out these last 2 weeks. Now we're at Minnesota, take care of business, and you end the first half in New York. You play another good team.
yeah.
And then we have some very winnable series in the second half.
Yeah.
For sure.
We have Kansas City, the White Sox, the Brewers, and then the Brewers are not winnable. Like, that's going to be a tough series. But then the Orioles, who have not been good.
Shota's going to get 2 starts. And, yeah, I don't know. I still feel good, especially after last week, obviously.
You should feel
But they
really
got to
good.
get a
They do.
big arm.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
And the bullpen had been, it seemed like it had sorted itself out, and then that was skidding a little bit. So it's like, oh man, like this is a familiar nightmare. Like was that 6 week stretch where the bullpen was lights out? Was that like fool's gold?
Yeah.
And it's like no, like we're regressing to me and the bullpen's a problem too.
And then shout out to Tucker and PCA.
Yeah.
They're
fucking awesome.
starting. Boyd is in the All-Star game.
Yep.
Boy, that was a nice little score that
Very
PCA
nice.
made.
Man.
Yeah.
Very nice. Hey, real quick, Viore. Viore is incredibly versatile and comfortable, perfect for whatever your day brings, designed to look great beyond the gym. Whether you're running errands, headed to the office, or meeting up with friends, the Sunday Performance Joggers are everyone's favorite jogger from Viore, a fresh take on athleisure and a staple in your wardrobe, ideal for fitness, running, and training, but also stylish and comfortable enough to wear all day. Soft, lightweight, 4-way performance stretch, moves with you, no restriction. Chief, what do you love most about Viore?
Oh, they're so comfortable. You can wear them anywhere. They have everything too. They got shorts. They got t-shirts. I got a bathing suit there. Viore's, they're great.
Good stuff. Viore is an investment in your happiness. For our listeners, they are offering 20% off your first purchase. Get yourself some of the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet at viore.com/stretch. That's VURI.com/stretch. Exclusions apply. Visit the website for full terms and conditions. Not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but enjoy free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75 and free returns. Go to viore.com/stretch and discover the versatility of Viore clothing. Exclusions apply. Visit the website for full terms and conditions. And then my last Cubs note before we kind of turn it over to Blackhawks Bulls, because I just had a couple drafts, was Alex Cooper's 7th inning stretch.
Yeah. I watched it this morning with you guys.
I mean,
Yeah.
great job by the fans to boo.
yeah.
Like, incredible job.
Yeah. Like
He
I
just made a mockery of it.
Yeah. Which, like, listen, everyone like does shit to be funny, and sometimes you miss, sometimes you hit. It is what it is. But that is, like, to me, like one of the most highest honors.
Well, and it's also like, not to sound too meatball, but like, you just have a little respect for how it's done, and don't do a fucking TikTok dance directly into the camera. Sing it to the fans.
Yeah.
That's how it's done.
Yeah.
I haven't looked, but has she posted it on TikTok or anything, or is she trying
There's
to?
no way
just,
she cares.
No, she don't care.
She don't give a shit.
No.
No.
The whole 40,000 people booing her, she doesn't care.
Why would she care?
No,
it's not her audience.
Yeah.
This is what confused me. Didn't they boot you from the 7th inning stretch a few years ago?
Yeah.
And now they let her in. Like, what? How does that work? What?
I mean, that was like the weird, like Julie DeCaro, like mafia
Yeah.
making a stink.
Yeah.
Which, whatever.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Because that's like, I mean, I'll never be able to do that, but singing the stretch, I could die right after, I think, and be happy.
You'd be able to
That's
do
pretty
it.
cool.
Why wouldn't you be able to do it?
They're like pretty tight on that now. It feels. First pitch, they let everyone throw. The stretch is sacred.
Camaro asking for a second first pitch is bullshit. You shouldn't get to do that.
Why was he even there? He was all over Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you
I don't
shouldn't
know.
get to do that. It's
NASCAR.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a huge NASCAR. That's right.
Oh,
That's
is he?
right.
Okay.
Because I was there Thursday. I was with Sabode from Love on the Spectrum. He threw out the first pitch.
Nice.
It was really cool.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Like your
Yeah, they
whole
do like
day with
multiple.
him?
Because I've done it a couple times, but I've never been the first pitch.
Yeah.
I've
Chase
been like
Briscoe
the
did it.
second.
Yes.
And there was a time when I raised a bunch of money for Anthony Rizzo's foundation. And it was just me and a bunch of kids with cancer throwing out the first pitch. That was weird because it was like literally kids, and I was the only one on the rubber.
That was weirder than you being on there with the cup.
No, I think it was because it was literally like me, a grown adult, and a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to the rubber, and all the kids were like in front, and I was just like, yeah, I'm going. I'm throwing this.
Like, can
thing.
you guys get out of the way?
Yeah. And I'm
Kramer
also
karate.
another agitating part is there is a small contingent of Cubs fans who don't want this to continue. They want just Harry on the big screen. Like I know Fordell would always go nuts about that.
No, I think you got to do it. You got to mix it.
I like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
so do I. I think it's cool. Like it's fun to
4th
go
of
to
July
the game.
was Harry, right?
I believe you're right. Yes.
Yeah,
and
like,
I know
so that's
July 3rd was Paulie D.
that's right.
Yeah, and like people get really worked up about that. I think it's cool to go to the game and see who's going to be up there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
mix it
I'm
in.
with you.
I'm glad we're all on the same
Yeah.
page because there are people who
But I do get like, oh, this is cool when Harry's doing it too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think a good mix is a good resolution. Big Blackhawks statement. You could let the people know what we have coming Friday.
Yeah, Patrick Kane coming in studio should be here in like an hour. So that's good. That's kind of like a Rushmore for the show. He hasn't really done any media. He's never done chicklets. I don't think he's. Yeah. So he's been. I don't know. This is like one of the ones that I've always.
It's a
wanted.
white whale.
Still kind of weird that it's happening.
I'm still expecting a text that he's not coming.
Yeah.
So, but that'll be good. I love Kaner. He's one of my all-time favorites. So that'll be the interview on Friday.
Awesome.
Awesome, and obviously the draft. Any
Yeah, kind of anticlimactic. They got a Swedish kid, big body, Anton Frondell, but it's like not known as like a good draft class. So you see like some people shitting on him. Oh, he should have gone 12. Some people, there was rumors that San Jose was going to take him second. And so we'll see. I think he'll probably get like maybe a couple of games at the start of the year, maybe, and then send him back to Sweden. So the rebuild continues, and it feels like it's just never ending because we'll see what happens with all the young kids. But this is like a kind of like a prove it year for the rebuild because now you have like enough of those guys are here. They're going to be bad again, but it's like Bedard has to take a step.
Yeah.
We have to see if Nazar is like a legit top 6 guy, to see if the defensemen are good. So there's like 5 guys on the team this year that were like, okay, like these 5 guys like need to be the core. And if they're just like pretty good players, then this whole thing was for nothing.
Is there another stud coming in the draft
Next year?
Yeah.
It's Bedard's cousin.
Oh, okay.
His name's Gavin McKenna.
That would be
He's
sick.
he's going to break all of Bedard's records. Like his numbers in the WHL are
They're
insane.
like Gretzky numbers.
They're
Yeah.
crazy. He had a stretch where he had
So
like
do we need a tank for him?
yeah, and it won't be like a problem. Like it's
Okay.
good. Hawks in San Jose will
God,
probably
we're gonna be that bad again.
yes. And even Davidson was like, yeah, we didn't feel like it was the right time to make any splashes in like free agency or trades because like our rebuild's not.
I don't understand why or how American sports have gotten to the point where the Hawks were team in hockey or second worst team in hockey. They're like, we don't see an area where we should make a splash. I think the second worst team, like the worst team in baseball, for instance, should be going for the
I
best
don't
players in
even
free
necessarily disagree. Like they could have, in theory, paid $15 million for Mitch Marner, and that would have been like a mistake. I think that's like it's too early. Like when they signed Hossa the last time, like he was the last piece, and it's like they're so far from that. Where it's like, what you're gonna have Mitch Marner? They could have signed Mitch Marner in theory. I don't think he ever would have come here. But let's say they blew his dick off with a $15 million offer, and he signed. They still probably finish in the bottom 3 in the league. Like, there's just not a guy that's gonna.
I understand, but my point is that like it sucks that American sports are at a point where like the worst teams in the sports don't feel the need to add. It should be like the only thing you do, and it's built into how the leagues are structured, of course.
Yeah,
but I can't stand
if Bedard had 120 points last year, they probably are more aggressive.
Yeah. What's the cap situation? Is there even a remote chance that they could potentially be in the running for Connor McDavid?
Oh yeah, they got plenty of money. Okay. So they have.
It's like I feel like that's headed towards.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he might get traded. Would you trade for him?
I would trade Bedard for him straight up, assuming an extension.
You're right. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Because I said that to the Chicklets guys when we were doing Ryder Cup stuff. I was like, "What about like Bedard in the 3rd pick for McDavid?" And like that'd be interesting, but I don't know because you'd have to get the extension.
Right. Yeah. As long as you have the extension in place, and that's fine. And then it's like
the problem is I don't know. the Blackhawks will maybe have the cap space to do it, but do they have the team? Because if he goes to free agency, he's going to pick a team that can win and can do it.
But it's like this weird. That's another reason why this year is so important, is because like when they got Hossa, they had just been to the conference finals, and when they had signed the year before, they signed Brian Campbell to a big free agent deal, and it was like, whoa, he went to the Blackhawks. But Taves and Kane had kind of shown, and then Keith and Seabrook, all those guys were already there. It's like these guys got something. They went on a run at the end of the year,
Right.
and they missed the playoffs, but they were like good the last half of the year. So it kind of made sense where it's like, if this team doesn't show, like if Rinzel doesn't look like a future all-star this year, and Nazar, same thing, it's like, well, they don't fucking have anything.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but like, I think you could, especially if it was Bedard, like if you swap him for McDavid, you're like, all right, we have 6 years of like prime McDavid and a really good core kind of already in place. So they need these prospects to like really pop, and then the next wave comes at the end of next year. But yeah, I mean, in theory, you won't even have to trade for him.
Yeah.
Because like his deal is up.
Right.
So if I were the Oilers, I would have been like, hey, we have to know like now.
Right.
And
Right.
kind of similar like what Matthew Tkachuk did when he's like, hey, I'm not coming back. You should try to trade me. And
Right.
they did, and they got like some decent pieces for him that haven't worked out. But like Huberdeau had like 110 points the year that they traded Tkachuk for him. So I don't know. It seems like they're trying to thread the needle on this rebuild, and it's just like, I think they're going to end up being like the Minnesota Wild or the Winnipeg Jets, where they like have a good enough group and they get to the second round, and then
That's it.
the Avs or the Vegas or somebody awesome just beats the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Dave, to the tanking thing, the PWHL does it so after you don't make the playoffs, they like give you points to get a better position in the
I've seen
draft. Could you
that.
see that happening in the NHL or other leagues?
Like you're rewarded for winning after you're eliminated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love that. I don't think you'll ever see it though, because it's
No, my rule that I can't remember if I said it here, but on PMT I said the rule should be in American sports. If you don't make the playoffs in 5 years,
You said that
automatically
here.
have to sell,
yeah. I love that. I love that.
because then that would put the pressure on them. They will never get a relegation because
It's too much money.
they will never do that in American sports. But just some type of pressure where it's like, if you don't put a competent team or whatever, maybe it's above 500 for 5 years in a row, you have to
Figure out
automatically
the
sell.
threshold.
Think of how long the Blackhawks have been bad. They had Kirby Dach was like the 3rd overall pick in 18.
Yeah.
They missed the playoffs in 19. They finished 12th in the COVID year.
Sounds like a perfect system for Jerry Reinsdorf's Chicago Bulls, though.
Yeah, they're the biggest dummies ever,
Yeah.
which is crazy because we just talked about the Blackhawks, we talked about the Cubs, maybe not signing Kyle Tucker. The Bulls are just a disgrace.
The Blackhawks have a plan. I just don't think the plan's going to work. The
Yeah.
Bulls seem like they don't.
No, they don't have a plan.
They don't.
I
They
think
don't. They're
this
incapable.
is their plan.
Yeah.
They're incapable of trading for picks. It's insane if you said 2 years ago that Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Alex Caruso, and Lonzo Ball would all be traded and they would not get a single new pick back.
It's like
They
hard
got
to- yeah.
They got their own pick back in one of those deals. This strategy that AK thinks that he's got some fucking like incredible like loophole that no one's figured out, where it's like get young guys that are established, is so stupid. Because no one gives up good young guys.
Correct.
Yeah, and listen, to DeLonzo trade in a vacuum, I didn't hate. I'll be honest with you, because I don't know what he was fetching with 2 fake knees at this point.
Yeah.
So I'm okay going with the
It wasn't
reclamation
even his
project.
need this past year.
I know, but he's not who he was.
No, of course.
he can't play. He's played like
But to get no picks again, like they just can't.
yeah,
It's
sure they could have
crazy,
attached like
man.
a second rounder or something. But
And then I don't know what's going to happen with Giddey. Like I think they're in a stalemate. I hope they don't overpay him, because that will be just signing you up for playing.
I think this wait is a good thing for that.
Yeah.
Because the restricted free agent market has been very quiet.
Yeah.
Him, Kuminga, and other guys. So it sounds like that's a good thing for the Bulls and
Yeah.
Giddey. But
They're a
Okoro, yeah.
Simmons said if he was looking at the NBA, the team with the worst situation for the next 5 years is the Bulls.
I mean, it's probably not too far off because
In the East.
No, in the East, yeah. Because I was going to say the Suns are definitely in
Yeah,
a worse
yeah,
situation.
yeah.
They
It
don't
was-
have
it
their
was the
picks
East,
forever.
Priscilla did not agree. He did not even have them.
He had the
What do you say? The
Raptors.
Nets.
He said the Raptors.
He said the Raptors.
Raptors,
Yeah.
Raptors might not be so bad. The Nets have some picks.
Yeah.
but they're also in a weird spot. The Wizards are. Yeah, it sucks.
It's like, what do you do with Kobe White?
And
I don't understand how the draft happened 2 weeks ago. We get the French kid. People are mad he quit on his team. All right.
That's what the French do.
Yeah. But I don't understand. We're picking 12. Did the Pelicans not call the Bulls? Because that would have been an incredible draft move to trade down to 23 and get a future, probably going to be a top 5 pick next year. What? Tell me how that didn't happen.
I don't know how it didn't happen. And that was a blatant, easy move to make.
Yeah.
Right. And if you know that the Pelicans are that, like, even if the Pelicans don't call you and say that they want to do it with you, I'm sure they knew that the Pelicans were gung-ho on taking Derek Queen. Just take Derek Queen, and then you fucking hold it over their heads.
Yeah. And to be fair, Simmons' take was more of an indictment on Reinsdorf and how the franchise could be so much bigger than it is.
Yeah.
Because it can't. I think
it still sells out.
Yeah.
Well, he said they have a team that can go 40 and 42.
Yeah. I thought about this too. I don't think they could ever topple the Bears. It's a Bears town, and always will be.
Yeah.
I think they could be number 2 in this city. I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way
Absolutely.
over the Cubs, which is saying
Significant.
something.
Yeah.
But the
if
way
you were
that
a competent team, you
like
well,
if
it's
the Bulls
also
were,
like the way basketball works. If the Bulls were to get good, it means they have a star top 5 player. That allure
Right.
is something special.
yeah, for sure. But it's hard to envision that because it's never happened in my life.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I mean, Gary Reinsdorf is
they're not close with Rose.
Yeah.
Like, when they were humming,
sure, yeah.
they were. Yeah. That was such a crazy time because like everybody, like the Hawks were good, the Bulls were good.
Yeah.
The Bears.
Coincided with the Cubs rebuild.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
But the problem is it's the same thing that it's a disease in the city where it's the owners are all kind of run their teams the same way, where they're basically knowing that the fans will still show up and hoping that they get lightning in a bottle and not doing the correct things to actually put like a winning team out there. They're not trying to win championships. They're trying to go to the playoffs every 5 years and be like, look, we got something.
Yeah.
Like we
Rebuild
couldn't even
success.
tank correctly. The Bulls couldn't tank correctly.
Nope.
They did it for 2 years and then they quit.
No, it's bad.
Yeah, it sucks. And
is
AK, it's insane how bad he is. He, like the fact that I actually am like Garpax, like they
Bring them back.
they would get some diamonds in the rough, you know?
Yeah.
Like they would.
Jimmy.
They drafted Jimmy Butler. Like they did some things that this front office just can't do, and they just can't get picks.
It's like they're the
insane.
opposite. They take Patrick Williams 4th.
They traded with the Thunder, who have more picks than they can fucking like. They can't draft all those players.
Right.
They literally cannot draft all those players. They have to trade some of their picks,
No.
and we got none of them.
And it was still probably a good deal for the Bulls.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Well, because I don't think Giddey is like, and
Giddey's
we had
fine.
this conversation towards the end of the year, like how Giddey obviously took a leap forward, but it was at the end of the season when you're playing bad teams that are tanking. I don't think Giddey's a bad player, but I think if they're going to pay him a ton of money, it's like, what is that?
If he's your 4th best guy, you could be decent.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like what you're up against. So I get your perspective.
They basically are, the Bulls' strategy right now is that Boozless is going to be a top 10 guy. That's really the only thing that's going to save him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not I like him a lot as a player. I think he's really good. He was really good as his first year, but that's not like a strategy that you can bank on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, like I said, maybe Asenge is buddies with Wembanyama, and we're going to sign him in 28.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's bait.
We're going to draft Boozer's son. And we're back.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I have. Does anyone have anything else?
No, I'm ready. I'm ready for football. Like after 4th of July,
Yeah.
I'm like summer is kind of done for me. And like I walked outside last night. We had a little like it was 65 degrees and gray. I'm like, just get me to football.
I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
What do you guys? So I was for the week off. I was playing some golf and in New Buffalo and like walking around the course. Obviously, everyone's like, "What do you think the Bears this year?" What is the number you guys are saying for wins? Because I had this happen multiple times.
I've had it happen twice over break time.
Right.
Yes.
And I love it because it is like just, this is everyone's ready for football. It's like, let's start talking football. What are you saying when someone asks you privately, non-recorded, for wins?
I've been saying unofficial prediction in July, 8 and 9.
Okay.
I'm right in that neighborhood.
Yes.
I've been saying 9 or 10 wins.
Okay.
10
not-
would be incredible. The schedule is just so hard.
10 wins.
That's what I've been throwing out there. I'm like 9 or 10 wins.
10 wins.
So we're kind of in the same ballpark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm much more bullish than you guys are about the Bears this year. I think they're going to be awesome. Injuries, assuming they're healthy throughout the majority of the year.
Schedule doesn't scare you at all.
No, it absolutely scares me. I think that the Bears have finally, I don't know if it was they lucked into their situation or not, but like I'm fiending for Bears anything right now, and there's not much of it. Their coaching staff they put together is a legit all-star coaching staff. They got the quarterback. They sunk the money in the trade and all the other capital into offensive line. Obviously, there are some thin spots along the front five or front four on the defensive side of the ball, but I think the Bears are going to be fucking awesome this year. I think they're going to be better than their 10 wins even.
Does that make you feel worse or better, White Sox Dave, saying the Bears are going to be fucking awesome?
He's been more right than I have.
Yeah. Yeah.
The last couple of years.
I have another one I'll throw out there. This is from a guy I follow, Joe A NFL. He does film breakdowns. He's kind of controversial, like people. He'll kind of zag on everyone else's. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
But he said the most boring and likely outcome for the Bears will be that Ben Johnson is an elite head coach and Caleb Williams is a good enough but not great quarterback, and it will be similar to like the Andy Reid, Donovan McNabb Eagles. Would you sign up for that?
I think I probably
4 straight NFC championships?
Yeah.
Going to, not winning.
He's
They only
talking about
went
the
to one
Eagles.
Super Bowl. No, the Eagles, Donovan
Andy
McNabb, Andy Reid. Not these Eagles.
No, I know. Didn't they
Yeah.
go to 4 straight
Yeah, something like that.
NFC
they
They
go
lost the
Yes,
Bucks
yeah.
a couple of times.
They
Yeah,
they lost
I'm
the Patriots in the
absolutely
Super Bowl.
signing
Yeah.
up for that. I mean, is he saying you're losing in the 4? Like,
Yeah, he's
not-
saying you're never going to win a Super Bowl.
I mean, that's a dumb hypothetical. If you can tell me that they're a game within the Super Bowl,
Then you're in the picture.
yeah, you're in the picture. Yeah, absolutely. I'm taking that.
I would take that too. It's better than what we had.
I'm like,
Yeah, they went to
that-
they went to 4 straight. They lost their first 3, and then they
Good
won their
knowledge,
final
Dave.
one.
Yeah.
And then they actually
That's
went
where-
to
So when they
another
lose
one.
like the Rams one time.
They lost
yeah.
to the Rams,
Bucks.
Bucks, Panthers,
yeah, with the
and then
Steve
they
Smith.
beat-
Yeah,
and then they beat the Falcons in the NFC Championship game, and then they went back 2 years later. So 5 NFC Championship games in 6 years.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd take it.
Fuck yeah, you take that.
But then you don't.
And that's the thing. Like, our owners.
And part of this hypothetical is too. Ben Johnson then leaves and goes and wins a bunch of Super Bowls. That would
Yeah,
hurt.
can't
that would hurt.
That would hurt.
You cannot
No
let
deal.
that happen.
That would hurt.
No
Yeah.
deal.
But then the Eagles did too.
But in this hypothetical, like
So-
the ownership in this city, they're like happy to get to the playoffs and you know and catch lightning in a bottle.
I don't
like we
think
said.
they feel losses. Like that's
No, it
yeah.
affects us more than it affects them. I promise that.
I
but
also-
if the Bears built a team that was like that, that's a good excuse. Like, hey, we
process.
actually, you
Yeah,
know, it didn't work out, but the process was correct.
It's the process.
Yeah.
It's like the talking about the 2016 Cubs and like, is it a disappointment that they didn't win more? And it's like, listen, they built the team the correct way, and it's all about getting shots at it, and you hope that one of them works out. And like going to the playoffs every year is kind of, I think Theo actually said this, where it's
did.
like it's a roll of the dice. Like the goal is not. You're not like, we got to win the World Series. We got to get to the playoffs every year and then just see what happens.
Yeah. I think his quote was like, we're trying to build a team that can win like 92 games a year.
Right. And then it's just weird shit happens in the playoffs and you can't.
yeah.
But I think we'd all sign up for that if there were just every
Yeah.
team was like,
Yeah.
hey, we're in the playoffs every year and you're just rolling the dice.
Except for the Bulls. Playing doesn't count.
No, the plane does not
Does
count.
not count.
Absolutely does not count.
Yeah, and maybe Caleb Williams is not a puke guy. Maybe he just doesn't. Maybe it's the same scenario.
There you
But
go.
he
Yeah.
doesn't puke in the Super Bowl.
By the way, the Bulls, I think what's going to happen this year is they might be like borderline a 6 seed just because of how bad the East is going to be, and that's going to be so detrimental because they're
very
going to
possible.
fool themselves and be like, this team is really good.
Run it back.
They're building something, and just ignore the fact that Tyrese Halliburton and Jason Tatum are hurt.
Yeah, and we won't have a 1.8% chance
Right.
at winning
Yeah.
the lottery either.
Right.
So yeah,
Right.
good chance. All right.
Let's get to football season.
Let's get to football sheet. Go win a softball tournament.
Yeah.
We're gonna win a
Go
softball
win a softball
tournament.
tournament. Who's pitching?
Well, one of my buddies.
Win a-
No arc.
I
12
think
feet.
it's 6 to 12. Yeah,
12.
I believe
Do they
that.
call it?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, but like, you know how it is. Like, you don't really call it. I got it called on me a month ago, and I was just like, "What the fuck?" Like, it wasn't. I know if you're pitching like way too high, it was like maybe 14, and he called it. And I was like, really, dude?
This tournament's very serious. I assume.
Yeah.
They will call 12
They'll call
feet.
it.
Okay.
I think so at least because the guys play so much. Don't know.
Have you
if
played
it's
in
not.
No Arc?
No, I've never played no arc.
Dude, it's
I'm sure
wild.
that is where
That is
I don't
the
care if it's Anthony
craziest.
Rizzo. He might suck at that.
I used to play in a No Arc league and it was like a Friday night league. It was like a bunch of dudes. That was all they cared about, and it was the hardest
Like
thing.
the ball drops from
It
the
literally
sky.
they go above
Yes.
the fence, and it will come down, and you're just like, how do I hit that?
Brutal. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun weekend. We got the Windy City Smokeout this weekend as well.
Oh yeah. So there's
Forgot about that.
so Friday. Listen to Patrick Graham Friday. The three of us will be at Papa Hops, and then the three of us will be at Mitchell's Tap on Saturday with Miller Lite for the White Sox.
I would be there, but we're going to Tahoe.
Yes,
for
which
PBT.
sounds fun.
We got to figure out a weekend next year that I can play in Papa Hops.
Every Friday after 4th of July. That's what they do. So
It's always
the Friday after 4th of
always
July.
Tahoe.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's tough.
You got to call the Tahoe people. Get them.
Yeah,
Got
exactly.
to do something.
Yeah, Southside guys.
I
with
need to
Tahoe.
go. I need to go get some of my thank yous. I have like 7 years of thank yous built up.
A lot of thank yous. You saved a lot of little kids from leukemia. That money, Dan.
Oh man.
All right, then that's a show. See you guys Friday.